What did Jesus really look like? The shocking truth revealed. What if everything you think you know about Jesus' appearance is completely wrong? There's an ancient letter that describes Jesus in ways the Bible never does. His skin color, his hair, even his eye color. And it wasn't written by a follower or disciple. It was written by Pontius Pilate himself, the Roman governor who sentenced Jesus to death. Picture this, it's 33 AD. And Pontius Pilate is writing to Emperor Tiberius, the most powerful man in the world. He starts his letter like this: "Your Majesty, something absolutely mind-blowing has happened in my province. These events might change the future of our entire empire. Like this video right now because what you're about to hear will blow your mind." But here's what most people don't know. Pilate actually protected Jesus for 3 years before the crucifixion. He gave Jesus complete freedom to teach and gather followers without any Roman interference. This wasn't just tolerance. This was active protection from a Roman governor who could have easily arrested or exiled Jesus at any time. Why would Pilate take such a risk? Because of one brilliant answer Jesus gave to a trap question that completely changed how the governor saw him. Someone in the crowd trying to trap Jesus asked, "Should we pay taxes to Caesar or not?" If Jesus said yes, the Jewish rebels would hate him. If he said no, the Romans would arrest him for treason. It was the perfect political trap with no good answer. But Jesus gave an answer so brilliant it's still quoted 2,000 years later: "Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to God what belongs to God." Pilate was so impressed by this wisdom that he wrote, "I have never seen in the works of philosophers anything that compares to his words." That's why Pilate let Jesus go free, until everything went wrong. When tensions got too high, Pilate invited Jesus to his palace for a private meeting. And what happened next shocked this powerful Roman governor to his core. Subscribe and hit the notification bell right now because this story gets even more incredible. Pilate writes, "I'm Spanish and Roman. I don't get intimidated easily. But when Jesus arrived, I felt like my feet were glued to the marble floor. My whole body trembled while the Nazarene remained completely calm." He describes Jesus as having a serenity that seemed like purity itself, and says he was unlike anything our greatest artists have ever imagined when depicting gods and heroes. But then Jesus said something that predicted his own death. When Pilate promised to protect Jesus, Jesus just shook his head and said, "When the time comes, there will be no refuge for the Son of Man, not on earth, not beneath it. The only true refuge is in heaven." Then he made this chilling prediction: "Before the rose of Sharon blooms, the blood of the righteous will be shed." He was predicting his own crucifixion, right to Pilate's face. Can you imagine the chills that must have run down Pilate's spine hearing those words? Despite this, Pilate tried everything to save Jesus. But during Passover, the religious leaders used temple money to bribe crowds to demand Jesus' death. The corruption ran deep. These weren't spontaneous protests, but paid demonstrations orchestrated by powerful enemies who feared Jesus' growing influence. On the day of the crucifixion, something incredible happened. Pilate writes, "The day gradually darkened like a winter evening, reminding me of what happened at the death of Julius Caesar. Black clouds gathered over the temple, and a violent earthquake shook Lower Egypt. A Jewish patriarch exclaimed, 'Either the Creator is suffering, or the universe is falling apart.' Even Pilate's Roman soldiers were visibly shaken. The standard-bearer draped the eagle with cloth, a sign of mourning. But the most incredible part was still to come. 3 days later, the tomb was found empty. Instead of dismissing it, Pilate launched a full investigation. He had placed 100 soldiers to guard the tomb, led by Lieutenant Ben Isham. When Pilate questioned Isham, the soldier gave this incredible account. Around 3 a.m., a soft, enchanting light appeared over the tomb. The entire place became illuminated, and I saw what seemed like a multitude of the dead in their burial shrouds, all appearing younger and full of joy. Heavenly music filled the air, the most beautiful I'd ever heard. Then the earth shook violently, and I fainted." Pilate cross-examined him thoroughly, but couldn't find any flaws in his testimony. This wasn't some made-up story. This was a trained Roman soldier giving his official report. And here's what's shocking. Even Jesus's enemies believed something supernatural happened. When the religious leaders tried to cover up the resurrection, they offered the guards money to lie. But some priests privately told the soldiers they believed Jesus wasn't an ordinary human, that he was a divine figure who had appeared on earth before, in the days of Abraham. Pilate writes, both friends and enemies acknowledged that Jesus seemed to have control over the elements. He turned water into wine, healed diseases, raised the dead, calmed storms. And then Pilate makes this incredible declaration, I'm inclined to believe, as someone said at the cross, truly this was the Son of God. Now, here's what you've been waiting for, Pilate's detailed description of what Jesus actually looked like. This description completely contradicts most artistic depictions we see today. Height, average height with a commanding presence that drew everyone's attention without him even trying. Hair, this might shock you, long soft hair that fell over his shoulders. Slightly wavy and light brown, almost blonde, which set him apart from people of the region. Eyes, his most remarkable feature, deep and piercing. Some said they varied between light brown and blue, depending on the observer's perspective. Skin, fair with a smooth texture, like someone who spent time outdoors but maintained a healthy appearance. Face, beautiful and symmetrical, projecting authority without being intimidating. Clothing, simple but dignified, a long robe and tunic, always clean, no jewelry or adornments. But here's what made Jesus truly unforgettable: his presence. Pilate writes, without needing to speak, he could transmit a sense of peace and welcome. His appearance conveyed humility and simplicity, even with his striking presence. Think about that. A man whose very presence made people feel peaceful. Eyes that seemed to change color depending on who was looking at them. Light brown, almost blonde hair in the Middle East. A face that projected divine authority without intimidation. This isn't the Jesus most paintings show us, is it? Most depictions show dark hair, darker skin, and Middle Eastern features. But according to Pilate's first-hand account, Jesus looked quite different from what we might expect. So what do you think? Does this change how you picture Jesus? Could this letter really be authentic? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If this blew your mind, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell for more incredible historical mysteries like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Retry.